Is Auston Matthews about to leave Toronto forever? This summer, one question is going to dominate every hockey conversation from Toronto to Utah to Los Angeles. One question that Maple Leafs fans have been dreading since the moment this season started falling apart. Is Auston Matthews done in Toronto? Not done as in washed up, not done as in declining, done as in packing his bags, waiving his no-movement clause, and taking his 69-goal seasons somewhere else. Because right now, it's a genuine, legitimate, terrifying possibility. And today on Puck Talk TV, we're going to break down exactly how we got here, what's really going on, and what might actually happen next. To understand why this matters so much, you have to understand what Auston Matthews is. He is, by any reasonable measure, one of the 2 or 3 best hockey players on the earth. He was taken first overall in 2016, and from the moment he hit the ice, he made it clear he was different. He scored 4 goals in his NHL debut. 4 goals in his first ever NHL game. That had never happened in the modern era. He went on to score 40 goals his rookie season. He won the Calder Trophy, and he just kept going. He won the Rocket Richard Trophy, given to the league's top goal scorer 3 times in 4 seasons. In the 2023-24 season, he scored 69 goals, breaking the salary cap era record and cementing himself as the most dangerous goal scorer in the game today. This season, despite battling injuries, he became the all-time leading goal scorer in Toronto Maple Leafs history, passing Hall of Famer Matt Sundin. He did it in 664 games. Sundin needed 981. And at the 2026 Winter Olympics in Milan, he captained Team USA to their first Olympic gold medal in men's hockey since 1980. He was the best American player on the ice throughout the entire tournament. Auston Matthews is a generational talent, full stop. The kind of player a franchise builds around for 15 years. The kind of player you do not let walk out the door. And yet, here we are. So, how did it come to this? How does a team with Auston Matthews, one of the greatest goal scorers alive, end up missing the playoffs? The short answer is, everything went wrong at once. Toronto entered this season with genuine Stanley Cup expectations. Matthews, William Nylander, Matthew Knies, the pieces were there, but the team started hemorrhaging goals against almost immediately. Their defense was a sieve, giving up 3.5 goals per game. The power play sputtered at under 19%, and then came the moment that broke the season entirely. March 12th, a game against the Anaheim Ducks. Radko Gudas hit Matthews with a knee-on-knee collision. Matthews goes down. He's helped off the ice, and the diagnosis that comes back is brutal. A grade 3 MCL tear and a quad contusion. Surgery required, out for the rest of the season. Just like that, the Maple Leaf season was over. He missed the playoffs for the very first time since 2016, and the questions that had been quietly circling all season suddenly got very loud. What does this mean for Matthews? Does he still want to be here? And almost immediately, the rumors started. An NHL insider reported receiving a text from a trusted source that read simply, "Your favorite captain will be traded this summer to one of 3 Western teams, Anaheim, Los Angeles, or Utah. Mark it down, he won't be back with the Leafs." Now, anonymous tips from anonymous sources are a dime a dozen in hockey. They're often wrong. This one landed with weight because of everything happening around it. The Maple Leafs fired their general manager. Head coach Craig Berube's future is uncertain. The roster was being stripped at the trade deadline. The team sold off pieces rather than buying. And Matthews, recovering from knee surgery in the city he had just led to a disappointing season, is now being asked to have a conversation with new management about the direction of a franchise that has let him down year after year. Insiders have confirmed that the Leafs plan to sit down with Matthews in the offseason to have a frank discussion about the organization's future direction. That conversation hasn't happened yet, and nobody, not even the most plugged-in reporters in hockey, knows what Matthews is going to say when it does. Elliot Friedman, one of the most respected insiders in the game, urged caution. He said there was 0 chance Matthews would be traded at the deadline, and that it's too early to assume anything about his intentions. He noted that there is much to play out before anyone gets a true understanding of how Matthews feels. But even Friedman acknowledged that the conversation is coming and that it matters enormously. Darren Dreger went a step further. He specifically named the Utah Mammoth as a team that will be a major player in any Matthews sweepstakes, pointing out that Utah is building something real is cap flexible, and has assets to put together a legitimate offer. Let's be honest about what a trade would actually look like, because the reality of it is uncomfortable for everyone involved. Matthews has a full no movement clause. That means he controls everything. If he doesn't want to go to a certain team, he doesn't go. Period. The Leafs can't force his hand. And even if he did waive it and ask out, the return Toronto would get is going to be deeply unsatisfying. When a generational talent walks out the door, you never get equal value back. That's just how it works. The no movement clause gives Matthews all the leverage, which means he decides the destination, which means the Leafs are price takers in that negotiation. One proposed package floated by Bleacher Report had the Utah Mammoth offering top prospect Tish Iginla, JJ Peterka, and a second-round pick, with the Leafs retaining half of Matthews' $13.25 million cap hit. That's the return for the greatest goal scorer in Maple Leaf history. A prospect, a supporting forward, and a second-rounder. That's what the market offers for a player with leverage over his own destination and an enormous salary attached. Chris Johnston summed it up well. He wrote that it's impossible to construct a scenario where the Leafs are better off without Matthews, and that trading him would almost certainly leave them on the losing end of the deal. So what does Matthews actually want? The honest answer is, well, we don't know yet, and anyone who tells you they do is guessing. What we do know is this: Matthews grew up in Arizona, not Toronto. He's not Canadian. He does not carry the same emotional weight about the blue and white that a born and raised Leafs fan might carry. He is a competitor. He won an Olympic gold medal this year. And after 10 seasons with the Maple Leafs, 10 seasons of individual brilliance and collective disappointment, it would be entirely understandable if he looked at the situation and asked himself whether this is really where he wants to spend the rest of his prime years. There's a pattern in this league that we've seen before. A superstar carries a franchise. The franchise can't build a winner around him. He stays loyal for years, and then one day, he's had enough. It happened with Quinn Hughes and the Canucks just last year. The parallel has not been lost on anyone watching the Matthews situation unfold. But there's also a counter-argument. Matthews has given real indications throughout his career that he wants to win in Toronto. He surpassed Matt Sundin as the franchise's all-time leading goal scorer this season, and when he did, he said it means a lot, that it's an extremely special achievement, and that he takes pride in putting the jersey on every day. That's not the language of a man mentally checking out. He signed a 4-year extension in 2023. He's under contract through the 2027-28 season. He can't become a free agent early. If he wants out, he has to formally request a trade. The question is whether he will. Here's where things actually stand heading into this offseason. The Maple Leafs need to make big decisions and make them fast. Who's the new GM? Who's the new head coach? What does the roster look like around Matthews next season? Those answers will almost certainly determine what Matthews decides to do. If Toronto makes the right hires, commits to building a legitimate cup contender, and shows Matthews a credible vision for how this team wins in the next 3 years, he probably stays. If the front office fumbles the rebuild, installs the wrong people, and signals more of the same mediocrity that's defined this franchise's playoff history, Matthews starts having a very different kind of conversation. The window is real. He's 28 years old. He has maybe 4 or 5 years left at the peak of his powers. He just won Olympic gold. He knows what winning feels like. He's not going to wait forever. So is Auston Matthews about to leave Toronto forever? Right now, probably not. The contract is there. The no movement clause means he controls the timeline, and new management may yet convince him the organization has real direction. But is it possible? Is it a genuine, real, serious possibility that the greatest Maple Leaf of all time suits up for another team next year? Yes. For the first time in his career, genuinely yes. Toronto, you better get this right. What do you think happens? Does Matthews stay and lead the Leafs rebuild, or does he force his way out this summer? Drop your take in the comments. This is exactly the kind of debate we built this channel for. And if you haven't subscribed yet, hit that button. We cover the stories that matter most to hockey fans. And this one is just getting started. We'll see you next time on Puck Talk TV.